Hello everyone. Today we're going to be doing a video on where I predict Elder Scrolls 6 to come out, and actually just Bethesda's next game slate as a whole, because as we have seen, they're starting to move on to bigger things. As announced by Todd Howard, they're working on 2 huge games, and that's really exciting for Bethesda, and it's nice to see something new from them. And if you don't know, there's a rumor going around that the next Bethesda game is going to be called Starfield. So when you hear me refer to it later in the video, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the next IP Bethesda will be taking on, which supposedly, like I said, is called Starfield. So the first thing I want to say is these are not completely 100% accurate, obviously. I did this last night with some friends because we were talking about Elder Scrolls and Fallout, and we were just, discussing it because one of my friends, he's more of an Elder Scrolls fan than he is a Fallout fan. And so we were discussing, he was like, yeah, I'm really excited for Elder Scrolls 6. And I'm like, well, you won't be seeing that for a while. And he was really confused because he didn't know about how Todd Howard announced 2 new IPs, and Elder Scrolls 6 would be a while off. So then I decided, I'm going to try to do this math in my head, just, do it. And I was a little off. I said that Elder Scrolls 6 wouldn't be out until 2040 at the latest, and like 2032 at the earliest. That was all in my head. It was like, I think at 2 a.m. Actually, it was this morning. I think I did it this morning. It's 8 o'clock right now. I just started this video because I wanted to do the math and just, get accurate calculations. And I was like, wow, I was way off. But yeah, earlier in the morning I was pretty tired, and I wasn't being fully 100% accurate. I know I messed up on the math during it. I just didn't know how much. But anyways, let's move on. So we're going to start with Morrowind because I believe Morrowind is where Bethesda, as a modern company, how they are today is where it started. I believe because Morrowind, say Bethesda as a company, that it's kind of what, got them where they are now. After that, they made Oblivion, then Fallout 3, and Skyrim, and Fallout 4, obviously. So, and we're talking main games done by Bethesda Game Studios, not Bethesda Softworks, the publishing company. So things like Dishonored, Doom, Quake, all these other games, Wolfenstein, we're not taking those into account. I might do a separate video on that when we might get what new IPs we might get, but you can't really predict that because once again they're a publishing company, and so I'm not too familiar with the publishing company. I just know the games they make. So we're gonna start with Morrowind. Morrowind came out in May of 2002. Oblivion came out in March of 2002, but I'm gonna round that up to 4 for April because it's closer to it, and it's we're trying to average things out, just make it a bit more accurate. Friendly reminder: this is averages. Like I said, this could be. I could mess my math up a little bit, but I'm pretty sure I did most of this right. I double checked my math, and I've been out of school for a while, so this is a bit of a refresher and such. But I averaged it all out. So then we have Fallout 3, which came out in October of 2008, and Skyrim, which came out in November of 2011, and then Fallout 4, which also came out in November of 2016. So those 5 games I'm going to be using to average the score, and the average of those games are 3.64 years. Close to that, you might get different calculations depending on what time. If you put in, you could account for days, you could account for the exact day that it came out, or you could just count by months, averaging the month. You could say the exact month. You could say, rounding the months like I did. You're going to get all sorts of different variables in there, and it's just, you kind of have to go with what just sticks, and I just chose that just to go by months because it seems simpler. You get the point. So that comes out to an average of 3.6 years, and we add that on to Fallout 4. So then we get May of 2020, and that is the estimated time of release for Starfield, their next IP, supposedly. That, remember, this is an estimated time. We have no actual clue when this game is coming out, and so don't look towards 2020 exactly. It could be 2019, 2021. It doesn't, it's random. We're not 100% sure really. I just did this I double checked everything, but I did it off the top of my head with the calculator on my computer, and I was like, okay, well, I made it this far. I might as well go see where Elder Scrolls 6 fits into the picture. So I went to the second IP because we have to, we can't skip over it. The second new IP, which has no rumor or announce date on it, obviously it's probably not even pre-production yet. We are probably going to see that in November of 2023. There are obviously differences, and this is, once again, it's an average, because if we look at these years from the past 5 games that Bethesda have put out, Fallout 4 came out 5 years after Skyrim. Skyrim came out 3 years after Fallout 3. Fallout 3 came out 2 years after Oblivion, and Oblivion came out 4 years after Morrowind. So that's a very random thing, and like I said, this is an average, so it's just pinpointing close to the average amount of years. So, you know, it's definitely going to be off. It's going to be probably, so say Starfield, for example, it'll be in the range of probably 2020 to 2023 at the latest. I wouldn't say it would go past 2023. It just seems a bit absurd. So I think we'll probably be seeing that by 2020. At least, I kind of would expect that because, you know, it's something they want to put out to the crowd, see what they say, and if we don't really like Starfield or, you know, whatever the game may be, then they might not even move on to their second IP. They might just go on to Elder Scrolls 6 because that's what the fans obviously want. So I'm thinking that at the most, Elder Scrolls 6 will be out in May of 2026. This is like I said, an estimate. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you think 2026 is too far off for Elder Scrolls 6? I think it's a great thing that we're getting some new IPs from Bethesda. They haven't done anything new since they acquired the Fallout license back in 2004 or 2003, I think. So, you know, it's really nice to see them trying something new. And Starfield, you know, that sounds very futuristic to me. I think I did a video on it a while back on what I think Starfield could be. So check that out. I might leave it in the description. But, you know, what do you guys think? As always, I will see you guys next time.